TGIT, everyone. Thanks for joining me for Beat the Boar exercises for your back and core. I'm Kathy Dixon with Action Potential, and we're Facebook Live. So today we're going to review a deadlift row to kind of keep piggybacking off of our tricep push-ups and our planks and incorporating our upper core and our lower core together. We're also going to do some maybe plyometrics today, which are jumping moves. I'll show you an alternative for a low impact if you don't want to do the jumping moves for our warm-up. All right, so let's get started. All right, so for first we're going to start doing our jumping jacks. So we're going out and up. Low impact is 1 foot out, arms go up. As you're doing your jumping jack, remember I like to say that you're between two walls, okay? So you're staying nice and tall, tightening your belly, bouncing off your toes as you do your jumping jacks. Okay, so the next one, we're gonna go through a series of a couple here. We're gonna go into our squats, tall, up into our heel raise. So again, squat, tall, up into our heel raise. We're not doing weight yet this morning. We're just kind of warming up first. So remember, in your squat, your hips go back. They stand up tall. You brace your belly, rise up onto your toes. If you want the jump, you're doing squat jumps. Okay? If you're jumping, you're landing, rocking back into your heels, driving up tall through your hips, taking off your toes, landing toes back to heels. So a couple more here. And again, low impact is just the squat, heel raise, squat, heel raise. Next one's my favorite, the high knees, low impact. You stand and march here. Remember, belly's tall. We're not curling our butt. If you want to do the jumping, you're bouncing off the toes, pulling your knee to your hands or your shoulder, okay? Not bending down, not letting my trunk drop down towards my knees, okay? Bracing my belly, pulling the knees up and high. Okay, and then the next one, our rotation today, call this the little Jane Fonda rotation. Let's actually keep our feet still. So we're rotating just through our middle trunk. Hands are here, pushing and rotating, back to center, pushing and rotating. My hips are rotating with me. I'm not pulling that heel up because I'm actually trying to get spinal rotation. I'm going to say no jumping here. Breathe and recover. 2 more. So again, sometimes we do that half kneeling rotation. Today we're incorporating it into our standing posture. All right, we're going to go back through again. Remember, you can do the low impact or you can do the jumping. So we're doing our jumping jacks or our jumping jack step outs. Okay. Not really counting reps, I'm just kind of going until I'm bored. See, I have my favorite color on today. It's my ninja uniform. Okay. Back to our squats, so we can drop into our squat and our jump. You can reach your hands up. You can keep your hands at center. Just making sure as you lift and you land, your knees stay straight over your toes. The alternative is a squat, lift, heel raise. Squat, lift, heel raise. Keep doing your jumps here. So we're doing an active warm-up. We're getting our heart moving, our muscles warm, and our joints loose. Okay? And to our rotation. So I want you to keep your feet pointed straight ahead. And I'm rotating through our middle back. I am not bending forward or down in my rotation. I'm spinning on that vertical axis. So I'm staying nice and tall as I go through my rotations. Just do a couple more here. Keeping my belly tight, kind of recovering, catching my breath if you were doing the jumping. All right, so before we hit the floor, I want to just keep doing a little active recovery with our dumbbells. If you don't have dumbbells, you can just still move your arms. If you have the dumbbells, we're going to get into a squat, feet together. We're going to step 1 foot out. You're going to drop into your squat and do a bicep curl. Come back up and step together. So step out, Drop into your squat with a bicep curl. Step together. All right, we're going to keep going through here. Remember, we incorporate our upper body because our core is how we connect our upper body to our lower body and prevent injury and improve our strength and power. Okay, bicep curls, setting my shoulder blades, just bending my elbows as I stick my rear end out, ride my heels down and back up. If you're unlike me and you're not talking, you're probably able to recover and catch your breath here. Do one more to each side, and then we're going to hit the floor for our ab warm-up. Then we'll work our way back up into standing for the deadlift rows. Okay, keep one dumbbell nearby. We're going to start with the active straight leg raise. So again, there's two options here. I want everybody, if they can, to do the dumbbell press today. If you don't have a dumbbell, your arms are at your side. The straight leg raise is going to be both legs up in the air straight, dumbbell press, dropping a heel, and lifting. The non-moving leg is almost pulling towards you, staying straight up to the ceiling as the opposite leg is moving. If you don't feel comfortable with the leg straight, go into the dead bug heel taps here. Okay? I want everybody to try both legs up if you can. If you can't, you're back at the march. All right, so everybody inhale. Exhale, let your rib cage fall to the ground. Tighten your lower belly. Press your arms up, pushing from your armpits through the heel of your hands. Get your legs up in the air. Belly's nice and tight. Trying to think of my heels driving out the bottom of my shoe as I lower leg tap and lift back up. The goal is that my back isn't arching off the floor. I'm not rocking side to side. If you were more flexible than me, your leg would be completely straight. See, I'm kind of struggling with the hamstring here. Make sure that your armpits are pushing the weight up to the ceiling. We'll keep going. Again, if you're not doing straight legs, you're doing the bent knee heel taps, still keeping the ribs down, still keeping the belly tight. You can even practice reaching out a little further to make it a little challenging in this position. Let's do two more on each leg. Belly's nice and tight. You should start to feel it shaking a little bit. Tell you that the muscles are working to hold you there nice and strong. Boy, I'll tell you what, I turned the heat on this morning because I was cold, and now I'm regretting it. All right, so now we're going to go into our squats. We're going to incorporate two of the squats we've done all along. So the alternative here is you can always bridge through both legs. Okay, I'm going to go to a single leg bridge today. I'm going to bridge through one leg, but I'm going to incorporate that tricep press with my arms or the skull crusher. So just to show you with the two legs, a little different today, we're going to set our arms, drive my heels into the floor using my butt to lift up. I'm going to bend the elbows into a tricep press. Remember, my arms don't move. Okay, press back up, lower down. So it's a press, crush, lower down. All right? If you want to do the single leg option, we're going to keep one leg up. Remember, brace that belly to keep that pelvis level, crush, and down. We're going to do 10 on each leg. So if you're doing the two leg version, you're going to end up doing 20 on both. I'm really trying hard to count and talk. I'm going to say that's about 4. Making sure that your belly's tight, you're driving through your heel. 6. Pushing from your armpits, not your neck. 7. 8. 9. And one more, you should really feel this in your butt cheeks, not pulling or straining through your hamstrings. Everybody lower your arms for a second, take a deep breath. If you're going to stick with the two legs, go right ahead. I'm going to press your arms up, lift the opposite leg if you're doing single. Driving through my heel, pressing and lowering. Hips up, bend your elbow, lower back down. Drive through that heel and lower. Here's 4. Make sure your hips aren't tipping side to side and you feel your arms pressing from your armpits, not straining through your neck. My upper arm or my humerus is staying nice and vertical, So my triceps and my shoulder blades muscles get most of the work here. I'm gonna say that was 8, 9. Make sure you're not holding your breath through these exercises. Last one here is 10. Okay, don't put your weight too far away from you. We're gonna grab them again in a minute. We're gonna go into our tabletop diagonals just to kind of get a rotational challenge in today. So if you remember tabletop, shoulders are, wrists are under shoulders, knees are under hips. I'm making sure that my ribs are closed, my shoulder blades are flat on my rib cage. I'm pushing from my armpits through a straight elbow, through the heel of my hand. My tailbone's lifted behind me so my spine's nice and straight. I'm gonna kick one leg back as if I'm standing on the wall behind me. Belly's nice and tight as I reach the opposite arm forward. Tap my elbow to my knee under my body. I lose that straight spine. Reach back out, finding that straight spine, focusing on pressure in my tush and my armpit of the not moving side. Okay, so we're gonna switch sides here. So shoulder blades, belly, kick and reach. Tap elbow to knee, reach back out to the floor. So we're gonna kick and reach, tap elbow to knee, reach back out to the floor. If you're having a hard time with your balance on the elbow tap, you can just kick and reach and hold. Okay, so you're holding as everybody else is tapping and reaching. That's a-okay. If you can't coordinate the arms and the legs, then I'm gonna encourage you just to do a leg kick. Tap and reach, or just a leg kick on either side. Good, we're gonna do 2 more. Making sure the belly's not twisting, the hips are staying still, my spine's staying nice and straight in the reach position. Okay, so we're gonna do 1 more on the floor, which is our planks. Trying to move us through the exercises today. I'm gonna call this an around the world. You can use your dumbbells, you don't have to use your dumbbells, okay? If you want an alternative position, you can do tabletop. I'm gonna do the tabletop one first, okay? So I find my nice tabletop. I'm gonna row with the right, row with the left. I'm gonna move my left leg out and back under, and then my right leg out and back under. Okay, so it's a row, belly's tight, row. It's a straight leg tap behind me, straight leg tap behind me, kind of like a jumping jack. All right, if not, we're gonna go into the plank position. You can do step outs or you can do the jumping jack, but you would have to do 2. All right, so let's go through, see how many I can do in a row. If you need to stop, go ahead, go down on your knees, recover, and get right back up. So we're rowing, rowing, tapping out, rowing, rowing. I'm gonna do the jumping jack, tapping out, rowing, rowing, tapping out, rowing. Last one, rowing. You can either tap out or do your jumping jacks. Come back in. All right. I'm going to stop there. We're going to come back up into standing and work on our deadlift row. So the deadlift row with my dumbbells, real quick here. I'm doing where I stick my hips out, okay? Drive down into that squat we've been working on. My back is straight. Nothing changes when I have the weights in my hands. My shoulder blades are wrapped behind me. Okay, as I go down, thinking of sliding the weights right down my thighs to my knees. Once I'm in this butt lifted position, weights in my heels, belly's tight, I'm thinking of that string on my elbow, biceps are brushing the side of my body, and I'm pulling into a squeeze here, pushing back to the floor without moving the shoulder blades and standing up tall, okay? If I show you with a pike, PVC pike, kind of makes for a good visual. So I'm here, I'm gonna drive my hips down, okay? I'm sliding my biceps along my body, kind of like my tricep push-up. I'm not doing the ones out to the side. And then I'm actively pushing back to the floor without rounding my shoulder blades, and then standing up tall through my hips. One more time from the side. I'm gonna sit back, slide my hands down my thighs, set my shoulder blades, row back with my elbows. I feel the squeeze between my shoulder blades and below them, not up in my neck. Then I'm gonna push back to the floor like I'm doing a push-up, and then stand up tall, keeping the weights at my thighs the whole time. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna do 10 deadlift rows, and then we're gonna get on the floor and do 5 tricep push-ups. Remember, tricep push-ups you can do in your plank or on your knees. Make sure that your bicep runs alongside your body, okay? And then you press back up through the heel of your hands. All right, so here we go. We're gonna go into our squat, and then our row, press back and up. Lift that belly button tall. Okay, you can do this with your air weights. You can do this with soup cans. I had a guy today, he was doing his exercises with 2 half-full paint cans. So make do with what you got. I'm gonna say this is 5. Turn to the side for the next 5. I ride my hips back, sliding my hands down my thighs, row, push, stand up, slide down, row, push, stand up, slide down, row, and stand up. And one more, squeezing my shoulder blades and up. Okay, now we're gonna work it from the floor. We're gonna work it the arms from the opposite direction. So, I'm gonna start on my knees, but remember, you can do it from a full plank or on your knees. My challenge to you is, can you get your nose to the floor and lift back up? So, hands are about under your shoulder, elbows are tight, belly super tight as we go down, and push up. If you can't go all the way down to your nose, halfway is okay. Think of your elbows coming to the level of your body. We've got 3 more. And 1 more. And then back up. We're gonna do 10 more deadlifts, 5 more push-ups, and then we're gonna just do a little cool down. Nothing crazy, I forgot my row. So we're gonna squat, row, and up. Feel the squeeze between your shoulder blades as you're doing your row. It's a full body workout here. You're stabilizing your spine. You're getting mobility through your hips. You're strengthening your butt and your shoulder blade muscles, which help with posture and power during any activity that you do. And I have no idea what number we're on. We're gonna do 3 more. I think I should have the kids just come and count my repetitions next time, since I'm a terrible counter. Good, 1 more. Notice I'm not squeezing through my neck as I do my row. All right, so back to the floor. I'm still gonna hang on my knees, guys. You can go into a full push-up if you'd like. So we're doing 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, while we're in our plank, I want you to just go to the floor, relax your toes. We're gonna do that back extension, where we press up, lift our chest and our chin, let our shoulder blades drop down towards the floor, sag our hips into the floor, just stretching our back into extension. By now, everybody should have caught their breath, so we're just gonna stretch it out. 5 more seconds. And then we're gonna go back down, spread your knees a little bit. We're gonna go back into that child's pose. Heads down on the floor if you can get it there. Butt's moving towards the tailbone. I'm thinking of not only stretching my butt and low back, but I'm also stretching from the side of my ribs through my armpit and my triceps here. So it's kind of a good one. If you need more in the arms, kind of crawl your fingers forward. We're just gonna hold here. I think my heat's still running even though I turned it off. Okay. And then we're gonna go back into our spinal extension. So we're just gonna relax the shoulder blades down, lift our chest up in the air. Think of your hips sagging heavy towards the floor. We're just kind of breathing, trying to slow our breathing in and out, unless I'm the only one out of breath. Okay, now we're gonna tuck our toes. We're just gonna go into a plank for a second. Okay, we're gonna go into that yoga move where you drive your hips up in the air. I'm not a big yoga person. I want you to lift your tailbone up to the ceiling as you think of driving your heels to the floor so you get a nice stretch down the back of your legs. And then in the front of my body, I'm pushing from my armpits through the heel of my hands. So even though this is a stretch, I'm still actively using my muscles to support my body. And then we're just gonna step one foot in, other foot in, Go into your forward bend, letting the legs stay straight. Hips are driving back, grounding. If you're only here, that's fine. We're just gonna roll up, go into one little back extension here, and that's it. So I tried to move us through the exercises a little bit faster today, get our heart rate going. I seem to do that on Thursdays and not Mondays. So I'll take a look at that. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time. I'm on Monday, and we're on later again today at 2. So everybody take care.